the state, not just in the recent months, but for over a decade. And also, we have to recall the instances where various civil society organizations, political parties, including the parties who have members elected in the August House, including the opposition, have raised instances of alleged illegalities in as far as the alleged illegal coal mining and its illegal transportation and illegal sale is concerned. Now, you also have on record certain instances where certain instance of alleged illegal coal mining and its storage were flagged before the government, brought to the notice of the authorities concerned in the right earnest to draw the attention of the concerned government and also see that they take cognizance of these illegalities and act on as per the provision of the law of the land, which would have created the overall deterrence. You know, the fear of Moses, the sense of fear for the law is crucial to prevent any illegality in as far as any illegal activity by any potential perpetrator is concerned. Therefore, in this modern world, in our given system of democracy, the fear for law takes place when the existing laws which have enough teeth are enforced in the right earnest. In absence of that, it only can be interpreted that means by seeing what is visible and by denying what is happening in respect of illegality, which the government otherwise is responsible to take cognizance of as per the law of the land, then it amounts to the predetermined strategy to adopt a modus operandi whereby indulging in denial mode, you allow the illegality to continue. And when such illegalities are allowed to continue in perpetuity, the perpetrators of these illegal activities get more emboldened. And today, what we saw in the recent days, in the preceding months, is a complete reflection, rather an evidence, which can be considered as an, proof beyond any reasonable doubt that the illegality in respect of illegal coal mining, illegal storage of illegally extracted coal, and illegal transportation of such illegally extracted coal, and their modus operandi of selling it illegally, has only grown in scales over the years. The scale of this illegality is reflected by the recent incident. It is nothing, but as I have said, it is a proof that the scale of this illegality has been allowed to grow to such an extent that today you have such an unfortunate incident, which proves beyond reasonable doubt that illegality of this nature has reached this scale where you have such a huge, I must say, an incident where you have such a loss of precious lives of too many people. You don't even know actually how many people have lost their lives. Because the kind of situation that resulted in the death, that tragic accident, your mine tragedy, the so-called dynamite blast resulting in this mine tragedy, we are painful to see that this illegality has led to the loss of many precious lives. I take this opportunity to condole the death of those precious lives and pray for the members of the bereaved family that at this difficult time when they have such a irreparable loss inflicting upon the family, God provides them solace and fortitude. But at the same time, This is only a fallout of the illegality which was allowed to go on by the authorities in concern. On number of occasions, I have made it abundantly clear that an illegality of this scale, which is visible to every common man, cannot take place unless there is a complicity between the authorities and the perpetrators of this illegal act. That's the reason why I felt it necessary that time has come to urge upon the government that to say enough is enough. Enough is enough. And take the bull by a horn and show that you have the sincere and committed intent to really stop these illegalities, protect the interests of the people, protect the interests of the state. The government of the day has, in fact, allowed this modus operandi to continue. I have always referred this to, a well-scripted modus operandi. And this modus operandi, well-scripted, predictable. It is predictable. It is nothing that is unpredictable. The modus operandi, the way things are happening, the way the illegal extraction is taking place, the way the illegal storage is taking place, the way illegal transportation is taking place, the way the roads are being destroyed by the overloaded trucks who are carrying this illegally extracted coal to the designated market, and the whole illegal cell across the state. How is it not visible to anybody? It is visible for anybody. Then again, the instances of ED raids, which again discloses that there has been such a modus operandi where illegal activity was connected with illegal collection of money. It has been very prominently carried by the media, both print and electronic media. So this delay is justice denied. Therefore, I expect and I still have the hope in the overall wisdom of the judiciary that the Honorable Court will take cognizance of this and take recourse to a decision which should have its positive ramification to put a halt instantly. That is what is needed. And allow an independent inquiry. Now, the Commission of Inquiry Act 1952, we have had so many such inquiries. If the court is already having different methodologies of already collecting and compiling those instances of illegality that is taking place on a regular basis, one after another, you see that the committee headed by Justice Kataki, retired, he is submitting. Now, I think last report was 35. So 35. These reports are self-explanatory, reflecting the quantum of illegality. Therefore, what I'm saying is that every instance of such illegality of this scale must be segregated and separately tried in the court. Otherwise, another illegality will be there, this will be clubbed and this will be again. So it will not have an end. Illegality is allowed to continue so that this case doesn't end. So is it not a modus operandi well designed and well predetermined plan? I have reasons to believe that it is a predetermined, well planned modus operandi that this can be done so long as they continue as long as in power. Therefore, what is important today is that if you want to put an end to this illegality, this government has to go. So long you allow this government, this illegality will continue. Mark my word. It has happened in the floor of the House repeated times when the attention of the government was drawn. How many times the Chief Minister himself, who is in charge of mining and geology, have, with so much of confidence, engaged in denial mode. How many times? Count. Go through the proceeding of the August House. Therefore, now you know what is the scope for the elected representatives. What is the scope of this August House? The August House does not have the scope of discussing this because the rule doesn't allow us. Therefore, people who are in authority knows it very well. So they are weaponizing their knowledge about the law. You know, if you look at the world, look at the mentality of the people, how many % of intelligent people weaponize their knowledge and intelligence to do harm and to benefit to self at the cost of, anything. This is how the usual human tendency of weaponizing knowledge and power. Now, therefore, having seen what is happening, I have reasons to believe that the people in authority do not have the intent to protect the interests of the state and protect the interests of the people. That is the most dangerous trend of this kind that we have witnessed in the state of Meghalaya. Never before. Never before. How many coke plants were given permission when there was no coal available? Who has given the permission? How many coke plants? Where are they going to get the coal as an ingredient, as a raw material? Is it not a well-planned, scripted modus operandi? It is. Now, therefore, if the ED has come up with those findings, some trail of transaction, they should put a logical conclusion to those findings. Now, since those also indicate that this whole illegality in respect to illegal coal mining, their illegal storage, illegal transportation and illegal sale is not confined within the boundary of the state. It has gone beyond the boundary of the state. Therefore, Government of India must take cognizance of this issue, and all these inquiries or whatever decision they have to make must be shouldered by Government of India. Because, having said this, after repeated reminder that the Section 21 of MMDR Act 1957 is a cognizable offence. Go through the section and all the subsections. It is a cognizable offence. So whose job it is to take cognizance? It is not the job of a common man. It is the job of people who are in authority. Now, if they have failed to take cognizance, they must be prosecuted. Because if they have not taken cognizance, that means it proves beyond reasonable doubt their well-determined intent to be complicit in the process of allowing this illegality to continue, for whatever reason.
Doctor,
Legal mining. Whole format to create an enabling environment to enable legal mining was already laid by our government at that point of time when we had the privilege to shoulder that responsibility of governance. We took up the matter with the concerned ministries, Government of India, to notify certain notifications based on those laws. You have all those copies of those notifications, including designating Meghalaya MMDC, Meghalaya Minor Mineral Development Corporation. Why? Because if you go back to the letter which was sent by the then Minister of Mines, Vasant Sethi, what does the letter say? The letter says there was a rider. While the Government of India intended not to interfere in the mining activities based on our traditional and customary practices, however, there was a rider. However, the state must ensure that the whole mining activities will have to be in conformity with various environmental laws and laws pertaining to safety and health. And therefore, the state may identify any such government agency, they even name, including Coal India and MMDC, in the letter. So you go through the MMDR Act 1957 and you will see the relevant connect the dots, and you know what the state government at that point of time has done. But they politicize it, they somehow try to misinform Okay, fine, for the election in 2018. You will have that speech of the present Chief Minister, Honorable Chief Minister, while he was campaigning in 2018. What did he speak in Noal Bibra in the last election rally? You go by that to mislead the people. Then subsequently, after they got the privilege to form the government, what did it happen? Didn't he take a delegation to meet the concerned minister in Government of India? They had, along with all the various associations who were involved in coal mining, they have gone. What was the discussion there? The Government of India told Government of Meghalaya, led by the Government of Meghalaya, means the delegation of Meghalaya led by the Honorable Chief Minister, that all this whole procedure has been already completed. You have to only start. Did it happen? It didn't happen. So therefore, I say the delaying of legal mining itself is part of the modus operandi, scripted modus operandi, well planned, well determined, scripted modus operandi by intelligent people to start allowing the scale of illegality. Corroborate the dots, again, connect the dots. How will I say this? Didn't they engage in revised assessment of the, so-called coal which were still lying in different areas of coal-bearing districts? Then they came up with a highly inflated figure of some 30 plus lakh of metric ton, which was submitted before the Honorable Supreme Court. Before the Honorable Supreme Court gave the judgment on the 3rd July 2019. So, it is necessary, it is natural that if the state government has said that revision of all those coal which are extracted and are lying still untransported in the coal bearing district, it was necessary to allow the owners of those minerals through some instrument which elaborately the Honorable Supreme Court gave in the judgment itself. How it should be disposed of, how the money should go back to the those miners who have claimed these quantities of minerals, refer as coal here, in respect of those declared new inventory which they created. Coal was not there in the first instance. They highly inflated the inventory. That's why you see all these reports of that committee headed by Justice Kataki. Now suddenly they will say, oh, coal has disappeared, oh, coal has been washed away by the rain. Actually, coal itself was not there. It was highly inflated figure. How can suddenly 2 lakh metric ton become 35 lakh metric ton overnight after a new government is formed? Is it not a part of the modus operandi? Yes, it is. Have we not gone and seen in jails where they declared 1,20,000 metric ton and there were hardly 3,000 metric ton? Similar thing, you go to all the spots. You go by the reports. 27 report, 28 report, 29 report, 30 report, 31st report, 32nd report, 34th report and 35 report of Justice Kataki committee. So all self-explanatory.
So they mislead them.